Hello, I'm Lindsay Gustin. Welcome to the show. Today we've invited Executive Chef Sriram. He's from the Ritz-Carlton, and that's in Pentagon City. Today he'll be making us a holiday menu with spices from around the world. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Again, my name is Sriram Hariharan, born and brought up in India. So a lot of the food that you see here today would have some Indian influence and influences of spices from around the globe. I've been with the Ritz-Carlton Company for the last 13 years, graduated from the Culinary Institute of America. And at present, I'm the executive chef at the Ritz-Carlton in Pentagon City in Arlington. So I'm excited to be a part of this show.
Oh, thank you. And you were born in India?
I was born and raised up in India. My inspiration for cooking started at home from my parents, and that led to pursuing a career in professional cooking.
Oh, fantastic, right. So what are you going to make today?
Okay, so the first one that we're going to start off is a Garam Masala spiced lamb rack. So all the kind of recipes that we have featured here are something more for the holiday season. Especially the tri-state area is more of a very global influence.
Yes.
I have two different recipes. The first one is a Garam Masala spiced lamb rack. The second one that we're going to do is a coffee chipotle dusted pork loin. And then we have some accompaniments like warm potato salad and an Indian spiced spinach to go along with it.
All sounds good. We're right back with today's recipes. So welcome back, and we're going to start out with our array of spices you brought for us.
Absolutely. So the first one, the Garam Masala. Garam Masala traditionally in India is something that we call to warm up the body, especially. So this is very traditional, more to northern part of India where it gets really cold. The most common spices are cinnamon, cardamom, and cloves, and there are lots of different variations to it. So let's start off with my favorite variation. So we start off with cinnamon. Cardamom. These are green cardamoms that we have. There's also a different version that is available that looks really black and it's larger. The third ingredient is cloves. Now these are what an Indian would refer as whole spices. And then
smell good.
The other variations that we have for this particular recipe are some star anise, some black peppercorns, coriander seeds, cumin seeds.
Have it on medium heat to saute it, right?
Absolutely. It's just what we call as toasting. Toasting the spices brings in all the essential oils out. And it just helps with the aroma.
Boy, it does smell great. And you put a couple of bay leaves in there?
I put a couple of dry bay leaf in it. And then what I would do is after it toasts, you don't really need too much color in it, but it's more of a light toast to it, because again we are going to take the spice of the lamb rack and put it in the oven. So just a light roast to start getting the aroma. And then once this is done, you want to take it, cool it down, and then put it on a spice blender.
And you're going to grind that up.
And then I'm going to grind it up, and then the final product looks kind of this.
Oh, wow.
So you can smell it. When you smell it, you have all these different flavors and aromas in them. Coriander and cumin come to the prominence. Sweetness is given both by star anise and green cardamom.
Wow, that smells good.
So let's use this particular spice and let's make our lamb rack.
Okay. So you have a nice piece of lamb there.
So now, for the show plate, I have something called a crown roast. A very classic term. A crown roast is basically take two racks of lamb and then you put it together. And
looks like a crown.
So this is like a half crown, and you have the other half right here.
I see
and so it's something interesting. It's the same thing, just a little bit. You tie everything up, so it kind of looks like a roast. It looks like a crown, and then there are different variations where you can fill inside with, for this particular instance, we're going to fill it up with spinach, corn, and mushrooms, a traditional Indian Indian kind of recipe for this.
Sounds good.
So let's start off with a little bit of salt.
Oh, yeah.
So in this particular instance, I have removed all the extra
from the bone there.
The bones, and just carved it
so
nice
it's
and
neat.
clean. And so we use the garam masala and a liberal coating of it.
That goes well with the lamb.
The garam masala goes really well with lamb, and especially now that it's starting to get really cold. So this is something to spice you up and warm your body.
So we have a pan here heating, hot.
A little bit of oil into it.
Okay, what type of oil do we have?
This is blended olive oil.
How much?
It's about 75% regular canola oil and a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. So a nice hot pan.
Yeah, I see that's hot. Is that enough oil?
Yes, absolutely. And then we'll take this, we'll give it a good sear. So you can hear the sizzle.
Yeah.
You don't want it too hot to burn up the spices, but just get it enough, enough just to toast the spices.
To toast it.
And then we can just turn it and we'll get it into the oven.
Okay. Oh, it looks good. Smells wonderful. So this will brown it.
This will give it a light browning. So we should start seeing a little bit of char.
See that, yes.
Right? And then go a little bit in here.
On the top there, doesn't take long. Yeah. So what do you have the oven on?
I have the oven at 350 degrees.
All right.
350 degree oven, and then I think it should take about 15 minutes,
and that's
depending on what kind of doneness that you want.
Oh, okay. What do you like yours? Medium?
I like it more of medium-ish. So so I think a lot of some of the guests like it rarer, but my personal preference would be more of a medium.
Okay. Right. Well, I'll put it in the oven now. I have the oven preheated
to 350.
And it's nice. You can put it right in this pan here, right? I'll put it in the bottom there. Okay, don't go away, we're right back. So we're back, and our crown roast is out of the oven, and boy, that looks beautiful. Turned out, looks like a crown.
Absolutely. And so there are different ways that we can fill up the center. For this particular one, we are doing something called the spiced spinach, corn, and mushroom. So we have 3 different kinds of mushrooms here.
Yeah, what are they?
The chanterelles, which are perfectly right now in season. We have the royal trumpets there, and we have some oysters in there.
Oh, wow.
If these are not available, you can use different kinds of mushrooms, the creminis, the shiitakes, which are easily available. So we just saute them up in a little olive oil? We just saute it up in a little bit of oil, a little salt, a little bit of salt in it, and the garam masala spice that we made earlier for the lamb recipe. So we used up a little bit in there. Here, I have a little bit of oil with lots of garlic, thin sliced garlic.
Yes.
So usually when I saute my garlic, I usually like to start off in a cold pan. And I always feel it tends to bring out the sweetness in the garlic, and you don't see too much sharpness in here. So a little bit of garlic. While that's going on, some whole red chilies. To give it the Indian flair.
Yes.
And then a little bit of cumin seeds. So.
Oh, okay. How are these mushrooms? Are they done?
Just a little bit more, and then.
Okay, so now you got that in, and
we've
what else?
Got a little bit of cumin seeds in there. So now all these will roast, and then we'll get a little bit of color on the garlic. I'm just going to get this shut off.
Oh, they look good. All right, and then what next?
So once this starts browning up a little bit, we'll go in with the spinach. Then we'll put in the corn, and we'll take all the mushrooms that we have caramelized here and then put them in there. Okay. So this is probably my version of an American sautéed spinach, but with some Indian spices in there.
Okay.
We can probably put it right here.
Okay, you think they're done?
Yes.
All right. So is your spinach already cooked here?
The spinach is blanched.
Oh, it is blanched?
And then we removed a little bit of the moisture out of it.
All right. looks good. So put this in here.
Put this in once the garlic gets a little bit of color.
A little color, okay. Think it's ready now?
So yeah, that goes in.
Okay.
So again, sauteed spinach, but with Indian spices. A little bit of corn goes into it.
Oh, that's good.
And a little bit of all these mushrooms that we've had.
That we sauteed up. Boy, this all looks good.
And true to being Indian, there are some ingredients that go in. A little bit of coriander powder, a little bit of cumin powder, a little bit of the garam masala.
Wow.
If you like it spicy, some jalapenos are good.
No, it's fine.
And then, of course, a good pinch of salt.
All right. Now we'll put it in the.
What we'll do is we'll take this and we'll put it right inside the roast.
Oh, wow. That would be nice. I see. Oh, I see. That is nice. And that's the way you serve it.
That's the way to serve it. And then you can carve the lamb.
Yes.
And then you have all the spices you have the stuffing right next to it.
Right. We lost a little mushroom there.
Right in here.
Great. Now, that's beautiful. That'd be great for the holidays. Huh?
So that's an Indian spiced spinach lamb, spinach, corn, and mushroom in a crown roast of spiced lamb.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'd say perfect for the upcoming holidays.
Absolutely.
So what do we have next?
So next we're going to do coffee and chipotle spiced pork loin. And we have two parts to the recipe. I'll show you how to make a brine, and then we'll make a coffee chipotle dust, and then we'll spice up the pork.
Sounds good. Right back. The recipes we're making today's show will be on my website, and that's chefsrecipes.org. So now what do we have for our holiday menu?
So another spice rub, but this time on pork. So it's a coffee and chipotle dusted pork loin. But before we mix the spices, the first thing that we would like to do is make a brine. And
this is the brine, huh?
Yes, the primary purpose of the brine is to ensure that the meat remains nice and moist, usually used for tougher cuts, but at the same time it also imparts a lot of flavor into it.
I could see that.
So in this particular one, apple goes very well with pork, so a little bit of apple juice, water, it's got brown sugar, salt, and all bunch of spices in there. So
and that's available on my website, the recipe.
Absolutely. So what I would suggest is we make the brine, we allow it to cool overnight, and then you can take it and pour it over your meat.
Oh, let's see the meat there. Wow.
So the meat is right in here. So this has been in the brine for about 4 hours.
Has it?
And then let's make a spice mix to it.
All right.
All right. So the first thing that we have is espresso powder or ground up coffee powder.
Oh, use the coffee powder, huh?
Yes, and this, and then we have some chipotle powder. We have dry oregano. We have some brown sugar, some salt.
This is going to be a wonderful
So
rub.
dry ginger powder, coriander, onion powder and garlic powder, some smoked paprika, and then finally some dry mustard powder.
Well,
so
that'll
it's
have
got
a lot of flavor.